Whether you're building a new computer or upgrading an existing one, or possibly adding a new memory card which is going to run hotter and hotter, you need to have good ventilation in your computer. And one of the ways that you can do that is by picking up a case fan. And one of the leaders in the space, right up there with Noctua, is Be Quiet. Not like a command, it's an actual brand. So what I have here is actually one out of two fans that I picked up. Put this one back in the packaging so we can talk about this. So this is the Pure Wings 2, and this is a 140 millimeter case fan. So case fans, you're going to use them generally in two places. Number one, you can either use it in the front to get ventilation into the case, and number two, you can use it as an exhaust and by pulling the hot air out. So most of the time when people are building computers, you're going to follow one or two methods. You can either draw cold air from the bottom and put it out, up, and then the other way is from the front going into the back. And with a lot of the bigger memory cards, I think it's going to be a little bit better to actually draw it from the front and throw it right across the memory card. Unless you're basically water cooling, different story. So this one is what's called a PWM fan. I don't recall what the W stands for, but it's precision controlled. So these are, if you bought computer fans in the past, might be a little bit different. So let's actually talk about it because it's going to be a critical difference for when you're building a case. So inside it came just like this. There was no other plastic or materials. It was just right in there. It is going to come with 4 fan screws, which are going to go right into the case, and you can screw them in from the bottom or from the front, depending on where you are going to be mounting it. The fan, you're going to have one side that's going to be open, and the side that's open, this is the front, this is the back. Right now, all of the fan designs are going to be pretty much standardized. So the way that you would know is side that's empty, that's where the air is going to be drawn in from, and the side that is going to have this pattern or rim on the back, well, the support structure, is where it's going to be going out. So in, out. So depending on where you're going to be mounting it and how, you might actually, you might have it this way or this way. So typically when you're going to be mounting it in the front of the case fan, this is going to be towards the front. It's going to draw the cold air in and throw it right into the case. If you're mounting this on the side of the case to vent out, so this would be like this, it's going to draw hot air from the case, and it's going to vent it up. This one is, and then once again, the thing that you're going to notice that has a 4-pin connector. This pin is designed to go either into a module or it's going to go directly into the motherboard. So most of the motherboards today are going to have a 4-pin controller. A lot of the times the older case fans, they're just going to have a big 5-pin Molex connector that you're going to plug into power, and those are generally just going to work on all the time. By having a 4-pin and having it go directly into the motherboard, the biggest advantage that you have is that you can use fan software, and the computer is going to control the fan speed because you don't necessarily need it all of the time. Of course, if you want full maximum ventilation, even if it's going to call more energy, then you can actually program it that way. But the PWM, so when you see PWM in listing, it means this type of a connector. Well, at least just verify in there that this is the connector that we're talking about. Some people might say precision, but this is actually what it's supposed to be meant as. So the Be Quiet Pure Wings 2, like I said, once again, these are made for cases. There is a type of a fan which is going to be more created for creating pressure, and that's what you would use for, let's say, graphics cards or all-in-one coolers and ventilating those. And one of the ways you'd be able to tell, so you can see how many blades there are here. The other ones, they're designed for pressure. The blades themselves are going to be thicker, well, wider, and there's going to be less of them. Those are typically going to be 5 or 6 blades. This one is going to be longer. So I just picked this one up, and I see it was made 12/20/2021. Or, yeah, 12/21/2020 could be one of those as well. Now, these are going to have a maximum RPM of 1600 revolutions per minute, and they are going to have 37 decibels. So not super duper quiet, but very quiet overall in general. So these fans, look at Be Quiet is a German company, but these are going to be made in China, and the expected lifespan on these is 80,000 hours. So probably for as long as your computer is going to last you, this, well, let's see, 80,000 hours, even if you're going to run it 24 hours a day. 80,000 hours divided by 24 hours a day, that's 3,333 days divided by 365. You're talking about 9-year lifespan if you're going to be running this non-stop, but I don't think people do, and you'll probably upgrade your computer before then. Nice and quiet. So this, if you're looking for a good case fan, is going to be the Be Quiet Pure Wings 2.